Greetings, Patrick here. 8 Questions with Have Cheeto Will View. And happy Thanksgiving Eve to everybody out there. Um, Everybody's, I know, out rushing around, last minute shopping for food and football tomorrow. 3 games on tap. I used to work at a grocery store, and there's 2 things I could tell you. That one, it's the busiest nights at the nightclubs, and two, pizza was very, very popular, both either takeout and or from the store. Plus, many people coming at the last minute off work, picking up stuffing or cranberries or what have you, last minute things for Thanksgiving. So I know that's what everybody else is doing right there. But us, well, we're here doing the show, and because the day after the show is or the day after tomorrow, Thanksgiving is Black Friday, and I can't think of a better. I've always tried to do this after for Black Friday is get a small business up here and talk about it. And I thought we'd go ahead and talk to Mike Piro from Mike's Monsters and Toys. I know I say collectibles up there. I'll have to change that, but it's actually Mike's Monsters and Toys, which is based out of Stamford, Connecticut. And so we've had Mike on the show before. And if you want to see that interview to find out his story, that's down below. Today we're going to be talking more just as a collector. If you're into collecting horror figurines, Funko Pops, um, enamel pins. Enamel pins are white hot right now. White hot. I know I see a lot of people coming out there showing off those pins. Um, uh, cool stuff that Mike has, and there's also several new toys and collectibles that are coming out for this season, and Mike's going to bring a few up and show us during the course of our discussion. And I brought Larry the Cat Dad with us, one because he's my snicker bro. It isn't a day unless one of us is swapping a video from our favorite new cat Snickers, um, which is absolutely funny as hell on Instagram. But I brought Larry up here actually because I noticed that he is a huge collector of figurines and pins and models and what have you. And I thought, well, I'll bring Larry up here so he can ask the informed questions. Like a collector would ask a store owner, like what kind, when can I get this? When will this come in? What's the shipping like? How often you get certain items from certain, vendors or whatnot. So Larry's going to become here and ask. He's going to be the voice of the collector. And we'll just go ahead and just take it through and talk about the various new items that are coming up. Um, so I'm looking forward to this. And Mike's a great guy to talk with, and I really enjoyed our first conversation. And I had told him after we had finished our first conversation that I would be coming for him to do this one. I would also had love to have Nightmare Toys. Um, I just don't know what's going on over there right now. I don't really see Christy out there very much, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. Though she always has a seat at the table anytime she wants it. Um, I'm thinking she may be taking a break from Nightmare Toys. I don't know. I see that they're still advertising like crazy, but I don't see her involvement. So I don't really know anybody really from the store other than Christy. Um, so I would have liked to have both on the show here tonight, but we'll see. I mean, we like to have I like to have both these guys come on at least twice a year, Mike and Christy. I like to have them come out twice a year, one before Christmas and two before convention season. So because that's basically when all the new toys come out and people, the new hot movies are coming out, and of course, to the hot movies come collectibles. I'm suspecting that the new vampire movie coming out, the one by Robert Eggers, and God, that's an ugly looking vampire though. All right, the bell has rung, so this will probably be our good friend Larry because I asked him if he wanted to come out and hang out with me first, and I think he probably did. My fellow Snicker bro.
Hey Patrick, how's it going?
One of us has to do that, right? Either you or me. I can't. I don't. I'm gonna have to find. I'm gonna have to figure out a way for one of us is gonna have to make contact with the guy who has Snickers, and we have to get him on on one of our either in the cat house or 8 questions with. Um, man, I that is the funniest shit I've seen on Instagram since I've been following Instagram. Uh,
Oh yeah, it's
I,
great.
man, I could be having a crap day, and all of a sudden there's a new Snickers reel, and it's just me. And the music that he uses for that is flawless.
Oh
And
yeah,
it
as soon as you hear it, it's like I start laughing automatically.
yeah, I'm going like someone should make a collectible out of Snickers, because he'd be perfect. Um, the weird thing is though, I don't know who the other cat is because I've seen that video out there before with just the gray and white cat,
Hmm.
but I've never seen anybody Photoshop their cat like they did what they could do with Snickers into that. I'm just thinking, well, hell, if they could do that, why can't me and Larry do that with our cats? Maybe we need to find someone who can Photoshop the Paladin and your what is your tuxedo cat's name?
Switch.
Switch. So Paladin and Switch. I don't know why we can't do that.
Well,
Uh,
Switch won't hold still enough for me to do anything. Like
oh,
even if I try to like pick her up and hold her, she's just real quick to
oh,
just
really? She's not into that then, huh?
no. No, I mean
Um,
she loves to be near me, like but I it's like whenever I try to pick her up, it's like she just scurries off and stuff. So
yeah, my wife's cat was like that. Ginger. She was like, she loved being around us, but man, you could not pick her up for nothing at all, ever. Um, and but otherwise, she was a sweet cat. She was a real sweetheart. Paladin, of course, he's just a squishmallow. I could pick him up and walk him around, and yeah. In fact, he's sleeping underneath this blanket right now. Um,
nice.
yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Thank you for coming on and doing this because I'm thinking to myself, man, because I'm not an avid collector. I'm a passive collector. Like all my stuff has just been given to me. I'm looking at it. And I'm like, I think I bought. I think I actually, honestly, I think I've only bought one thing. Of all the things that are on my shelf, I've only bought one. I bought a J Jaguar, and that's it.
Uh,
Everything else, everything else has been given to me. Uh, but you, on the other hand, you are a well-informed and active collector.
Yeah, yeah, I pick up a lot of different stuff when I go to cons and just to, I keep my eye out for what's coming up. So it's just yeah, it's just something. I mean, I don't collect everything, obviously, but a lot of the stuff that I do collect is just like yeah. I mean, there's a lot to it, and then there's also stuff that I missed out on from years before. I mean, case in point, the Dawn of the Dead figures. Those came out before I even started collecting. So um,
So, so when you run across a place like Mike's Monster, it's supposed to be Mike's Monsters and Toys. I'm sure he's going to say, "You do know you got that wrong." Yes, I do. I'm going to fix it. Mike's Monsters and Toys, or say a Nightmare Toys over in Las Vegas. Are they good at retro ordering? For you, or is it more of a collective hunt, like with physical media, with us trying to find movies? you know, it's, we can't really necessarily always go out and buy brand new the movies that we're looking for because sometimes they're out of print, um, or the studios no longer carry them. They don't have, not every studio carries every release that they do. Um, is that like that for collecting as well? I mean, is a shop like Mike's, um, is this something you would recommend to definitely keep on speed dial? Call up like once a month and say, "Hey, do you have any more? Have you run across any Dawn of the Dead collectibles or what have you?" Or is it just hunt and pack? Whenever you find it, you find it.
it all depends because like a lot of the Dawn of the well, my first Dawn of the Dead one I picked up from a con. I mean, it was just some random vendor. That's so hunting part of it. Yeah, it does help. Other things, social media, like one of the places that I do my all my most of my pre-orders from they're collectors, and they've also sometimes they have a toy group that on Facebook, so I'm a part of that, and then they'll put up stuff like, hey, we got this and we're selling this, or we're doing a raffle for this figure, and sometimes it's stuff that I do want, and I'm like, oh, okay, so if it's something that somebody didn't win in a raffle yet, then I'll message them and be like, hey, how much would you know sell it to me for, and then they'll ship it to me.
That's a good, yeah. I mean, auctions.
Hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think of all the places that you would actually go to find these. I'm thinking shops like Mike's,
Hmm.
um, the conventions, but convention prices aren't they? I mean, you might find it there, but don't they tend to jack their prices up a little bit beyond the value they I know it's demand and demand, but do they sort of jack their prices up a little bit higher than they should be, or have you found some that are priced fairly and are asking for, they're not looking to rob the bank, they're looking to help build your collection and make you a repeat customer? I would think that I'd rather lower my prices down a little bit to get your business back than to sit there and try for that one home run and never see you again.
No, well, that's yeah, you're right. A lot of people do have like they do the con price or whatever. In fact, there's a store that's like local to me that even on their in their shop, like their in-store shop price is still like con prices. So I'm like, come on, man, really? You're selling it for this much? That doesn't make any sense. Um,
I can understand con prices, if you factor in, let's say the cons in Florida, and and you're in the cons in Florida and they've driven from, say, West Virginia. I understand you have to factor in gas and car insurance and wear and tear on the car to jack up the price. But I've seen local vendors at cons and they're not afraid to jack it.
yeah.
And yeah,
No, these guys, like I said, these guys, I won't say their name just because like, I don't want to give them any sort of like plug or anything. But no, yeah, when they actually tried to sell me a figure that was had been opened and missing accessories
oh
for
wow.
like a ridiculous price. And I ended up finding that figure later on, like for some odd reason I was just checking Walmart site, and I guess it was like a reissue. They had one and I picked it up at retail price. So it was just like, and the box was damaged too. So it was just like, I'll check their, because they do have a lot of cool stuff that I'm like, man, I wish I could get that. But when I find out it's from them, I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. Like, just I don't want to deal with their prices. Now, people like you mentioned, Nightmare, uh, they they actually gave me a good price on so a lot of the stuff that I have picked up whenever I see them at Frightmare. So like that's why I always make it a point to go and check them out when I do go to Frightmare.
Hello, Jerry. Hello, Anthony. Welcome, welcome. Our guest will be here in a minute. I know he's going to bring some figures and some new hot items that are coming out this year, this holiday season for anybody in your family or your circle of friends or what have you, and you're looking for a cool gift to give them. We'll definitely be talking to Mike about that. I think that the one thing I've noticed on his website is I think now he delivers, he ships out. So I don't think he was there last time we talked to him, but I think we are this time, and that's very exciting because now you can order from Mike's website itself, Mike's Monsters and Toys website itself. Um, oh, happy Thanksgiving to you, Jerry.
Thanks,
Definitely,
guys.
definitely. And so yeah, I definitely we're going to be seeing the new hot items. I know that it seems to me like, for as far as collectibles go, it does seem like the two biggest areas to shop for them. It's sort of like the Barnes and Noble. They do that 50% off sale twice a year, and it seems like for collectibles, there's like two big days. One being Christmas, and that's pretty much official, Black Friday and what have you. But the other one seems to be the beginning of spring during convention season, when this convention season starts kicking off. a lot of the times the vendors have the new items right there in stock, because one of the things that you have to face during Christmas season is shortage of items. Um, I mean, I'm sure you've gone shopping many times, or people have shopped for you and told you, I would have got you this, except they didn't have it. I couldn't find it anywhere. And to me, I think
Yeah.
it takes like 4 or 5 months, I think, to catch up with orders, and that really is beginning of convention season.
Well,
Uh,
see, kind of going off of that, like what's interesting is that speaking of conventions and stuff like that, so back when they released the 40th anniversary for Elvira figure from Neca, um, I found it once, and it was like I found it for a buddy of mine because he really wanted it, so I got it for him. But I could never find it again because it was only a Target exclusive at first. Like you couldn't get it anywhere. And then so like I think it was like a couple months later, I was at Frightmare and there was a vendor that had it, and I was like, oh man, it's probably gonna be expensive. And because I was already imagining com prices, they were probably gonna jack the price up. But it was only $10 over retail. They were only selling it for $10 over. So I was like, okay.
that's not
I was
bad.
fine. I was fine with that.
What's a fair price over retail? I mean, what's an average collector looking for? I mean, $10 seems to be a steal. Uh, is that generally the same price you're looking for? Like I have the same thing whenever I go physical media shopping. I'll have a price point in my head. Like I won't pay more than a certain point, than right there, and I won't go past that. Is that the same thing with when you collect figurines? Do you just have a certain price point? Whereas, like, okay, I'll pay. Let's say I'll pay $30 for that, but I'm not going to pay 50.
No, yeah, yeah, for sure. For me, it's kind of like I look at it like this. Like I said, right now, $10 over retail. I was okay with that. Once you start getting into like 20, $30 over retail. Like, I mean, some people even do like 50, 60, even 100 over retail. It's insane. And especially for like older, not easy to find figures. I can go into one in particular, the John Matrix Commando figure. I mean, on eBay, if you look it up, out of package, people are still trying to sell it for like close to $100. If not, I think the most I saw it for was like 125. But in box and stuff like that, I mean, people sell it for an insane price online.
As you see, our main guest has slipped through the back door. Welcome back, Mike. Glad to have you here. I can't wait
Absolutely.
to sink our teeth into. Can't wait to sink our teeth into the world of collectibles, and hearing from you, and seeing what's hot this season. There's a
Yep.
lot of people in our community that collect collectibles. Um, that's white hot. I've commented that, like, seeing like last time you and I talked, we were trying to figure out what was popping. The mechas were going on, how trick or treat and whatnot.
Yep.
Um, I know this seems really funny, and I think you're probably going like, yeah, in the bigger scheme of things, it's not much of a business driver, but I know that right now it seems like enamel pins in the world of horror collectibles have suddenly just blown up. I see a lot of people showing off enamel pins. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, okay,
for
so
sure.
I'm not okay. Good.
Pins are hot right now. I have it. Wow, my voice is so loud in my head. Hold on, sorry. Let me turn that down. Yeah, I have someone who she's great. She makes amazing pins, puncture wound pins. Look her up on Instagram. She's amazing. And I get pins from her. Luckily, when I opened my store, she didn't really do like a lot of wholesale into stores. So she was kind of excited about getting into a store. And so she was the first like small pin maker that I've not small, but independent pin maker. She makes the best pins and they sell out like that. I just got back from a convention last weekend. I might have had like 6 of her pins left and I came back with like 1. They're so unique. So I highly recommend Puncture Moon pins. That's like
Okay.
the ideas that they're coming out with are really, really awesome. So
I
pins
will
are hot.
definitely make a note of that. And and see if we can get her to come on
Yeah,
here
get
and
her
talk.
on. Absolutely. She would. She's a great lady. She would love to come on. Guarantee it. She's a sweetheart. Definitely.
I'm very excited to hear that about the convention too. I want to
yeah.
say hi to the chat. Aaron is here. Groovy. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Again,
What's
hello
up, Aaron? How you doing, dog?
Uh,
That's my boy, Aaron. He's great.
all right. He is an avid collector, I take it.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. He's like my. He keeps me going basically in the shop. Every week he's coming and getting something, and I appreciate that. I have my other regulars, but Aaron goes above and beyond. We did an event the Saturday before Halloween, like a little. I said I'm a horror store. I have to do something this Saturday before Halloween. So he is a cosplayer. He fancies himself a cosplayer, so he dressed up as Art the Clown, but like a legit Art the Clown with like he bought a custom mask that looked. And he came to my store dressed up in Art the Clown, would not say a word, not even to me. He wouldn't even speak to me. If you guys know the Terrifier movies, he doesn't talk. So he wouldn't even speak to me. And he stayed for 3 hours in full character, in full costume, greeting the kids, giving them candy. We had a photo op. It was like, it was such a fun day. So he's like a diehard. I love that kid. He's amazing. He's my best regular. All my other regulars, I love you too, but Aaron just kind of goes above and beyond when it comes to the shop. So he's definitely my number one customer.
I noticed some of the improvements on the shop too. I noticed now that you're shipping out now.
Yeah, so online, the website's up. And obviously I'm using eBay a lot now because I've been buying a lot of collections. So since we've talked, I'm just buying collections. Like people are coming to me with just so much stuff. And this one kid, especially recently, I bought in 3 different buys off of him in the past like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe. And it's so much stuff. He was like, and it's a lot of Jason and Freddy. Those were his 2 like main guys, but he has pieces from like the 90s, early 2000s. Like just, I have some, I brought like 1 or 2 of them here just to show you guys, but so I'm buying a lot of collections. And when you buy the collections, you need to get eyeballs on it. So when you have like an older piece, if you have a piece from like 95, right? Like it's hard to get an eyeball to go to your website, skim through it, find an old piece from 1995. So that's where I go to eBay. And once I put that on eBay, they're gone. They're gone within like a day or 2. So eBay is a big, big help. I wish they didn't take 15%, but they must be just printing money over there because they take 15%. And then if you're selling stuff for $300, $400, $500, it adds up. But it's the only place to go if you can't drive traffic to your website. Like I'm a new website, so it's hard to get traffic there. So you really have to resort to eBay. And so there's no other choice, but it does work. So I recommend like, even if you're just trying to sell stuff and you can't find like a store like mine to buy it, go to eBay, take the time, put the items up because they will sell. They definitely will sell. eBay's the way to go.
That's outstanding. And we'll get your eBay store. By the end of the night, we'll have an eBay store drop down in the description box, and so people will be able to find it. That's what was really exciting when I was spending. Went over there to take a look, and I saw that you were shipping out. And I'm like, yes, thank God, because we talked about that the first time you came through, and how important it was. Because now you go from just a small regional business to now a national business. And that's exciting. That's exciting to hear.
That's where the conventions help too. Like like when I go to the conventions and you meet all these people and you're handing out cards and you're handing out stickers, and I got these little tote bags with my name and website on it. Like just to kind of just so people, you kind of become a part of the community, I guess is a for lack of a better term, is like over the past 5 months that my shop's been open, I've kind of felt welcomed into this collecting community, horror community. It's been awesome. The people are awesome. They're the nicest people in the world. And yeah, it's been so fun. So yeah, that's a good way to get out there, is the conventions. Convention circuit's big.
Excuse me, I had to do my other profession, and that is a battery doctor. Seems like one of the clients came in there and said that, guys, I accidentally swallowed a small battery, AAA. My advice was you'll have to poo it out. Listen for it when it hits the portion of the toilet. It'll make a noise, or the splash will be a little bit bigger than your normal. It'll splash on your ass. That's when you know the battery's out. Okay.
Yep. Or you
These
could
are
just
all
make yourself
services
vomit.
provided.
You could throw it up. That might work too, you know?
Yeah, I think the poo way is probably the better way. It's definitely the more
Gotcha.
fun way.
Yeah,
This some of the services here we provide on 8 Questions with. Um,
exactly.
that's right.
Who
And
is
you have,
the other gentleman in the chat? I would love
you know,
to.
gentlemen, this is our good friend Larry, the horror cat dad.
What's up, man? How you
Nice.
doing?
Good. How you
And
doing?
he is
Good.
a avid collector. He is
Okay.
a avid collector. So I brought him on tonight to ask the
Yeah,
collector questions, like
I love it.
you know, right? Because I only had the one question, and we got a lot of show to do. So I'm going to save my one question for last. Uh, but Larry has a lot of cool stuff too as well, and so
Awesome.
I want him to come and jump in here and basically ask the questions that a collector would ask.
I'm a collector too, so it's two C's talking to each other here. You know, it's
Oh,
two
sweet.
collectors.
Nice.
I collect too. That's why I started this. So we're on the same page.
Nice. I
Now,
guess. I mean, go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead, Larry. No, go right ahead. I'm going to sit right here in the corner.
No, I was gonna say, so what got you into collecting, Mike?
To be just truthful with it, I had problems with addiction in like my 20s, and then I got sober when I was 27, 10 years ago, and then I kind of like was spending a lot of money on drugs and stuff, which is horrible, not good. And then once I got clean and sober, I realized like, okay, what do I love? What have I always loved? Horror. I've always loved horror. Okay, what's out there? And this is at the beginning stages of like when Funko Pops were kind of first starting to come out. It was Neca Neca's been around since the 90s, but they didn't really pop off until 2012 and after. So this was like when Funko Pops kind of just came out. And I remember like the first thing I bought was like the 4 big Funko Pops, like Michael, Jason, Freddy, and Ghostface. And like I bought those 4, and it was one of my first purchases. I had nothing. And it basically, I said, oh, wait, there's like better things that I can spend my money on and that I actually love. So it just started slowly with me getting clean and being like, oh, what can I spend my excess money on now? I pay my bills, all that kind of good stuff. But what am I going to spend my money on now that I'm sober? And that just to be dead up honest, that's why I started collecting.
Nice. Yeah. So those were the ones that got you like on track. Were those first 4 Funko Pops?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's weird because like I would go to like FYE, dude. There was like nowhere to go. Like this is like 2014, and like in the mall in my town in Stanford, like I would just go to FYE every week or every 2 weeks, and the guy he like knew me after I went there a couple times, and he would give me like the ones that were going to be released in 3 weeks. He gave me like the
Nice.
Braveheart one that was like bloodied. And I remember, and listen, I'm an idiot. I open everything I buy, I open. And I'm sure if I like saved all my Funko Pops and kept them in the box, they'd probably be worth a lot. But I sold basically all of them off now. There's like maybe 10 in the shop that are loose. I only probably had about 30 Funkos to begin with, just because it was all that was out there. But once I discovered NECA, that's when I was like, oh, these are these are like the affordable figures. If you don't want to spend like, $500 to like $2,000 on like a nice statue or a nice like 12-inch figure, you can go spend 40-50 bucks and get like a detailed amazing figure with accessories. Like they switched their packaging. They used to have old packaging, then they went to the box packaging, and I think that's when NECA really like took off. And that's why now they're in Target, Walmart, every big box store you go to. I think it's because of the packaging, because they're I don't know anyone who does it better than them when it comes to they're just so cool. The NECA boxes are just so cool. They're just awesome.
Yeah.
Even a non-collector like myself, when I go outside a Target and I see their boxes, they are pretty tight. I mean, they're thick.
Awesome.
They're thick. They open up. They show all the accessories.
Yeah. So let me show this. So this is an old NECA. So this is like what NECA was, I think, in like 20. I don't even know if there's a date on here. It's like early. It's like 2011, I think, somewhere around there. So it's like the same figure. This is like basically the same Jason figure that you would get now if you went to go buy Jason, the final chapter, NECA, whatever. This is what it used to look like. So you see it on the side. It's just your natural plastic, you know, clamshell, regular packaging, which is fine, but it kind of, it's fine, you know, like it looks good, but it doesn't pop. And then because it's literally the same figure. I just got these off of that guy who I said I bought a bunch of collections from. He had a bunch of these old NECAs from, you know, early 2010s. And I'm like, whoa, these are the same exact figures. So all they did was just repackage them. And I think that's kind of what separated NECA, because people love the boxes. Half the people don't open the boxes. You know, I open them. I get it. Like, I think it's kind of split in the collectors community. Some people open, some people don't. What do you do? Are you an opener? Are you a keep them in the box kind of guy?
Are you in the box or out the box?
Yeah.
No, so for on my channel I do reviews, so I mean I have to open them, but
Okay.
I only open the ones that are the newer packaging that are in a box. I mean, I
Okay.
have these older NECA ones I will never open because
Who's that? Oh yeah, that's a Day of the Dead one.
Dawn of the
Yeah,
Dead.
yeah.
So I'll never open these just because it's like you said, it's that packaging. I won't open it unless it's like Universal Monsters. All my Universal Monster NECAs are all displayed just because I love Universal Monsters. The black and whites though I did not open.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm for the most part until I started my channel, I was mostly strictly do not open anything. But then
Wow.
yeah, once I started doing the reviews and stuff, I open them, but I put them back in the box unless it's something that I want to keep displayed.
So like if you like around your place right now, is it mostly like are most of your figures boxed?
Yes.
Okay. So you open them, review them, and then put them back in the box.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Unless it's the Universal Monsters.
The universe. Okay, and this is Universal Monsters. Okay, so
I
we're on opposite ends of the spectrum here. This is cool. You got two different collectors here. Like I really open everything, which is not good. I shouldn't open everything, but I kind of do open everything, and it's not. Since I've opened the business though, like I haven't bought one collectible for myself. That's the biggest downside of when you open up a you know, a toys and collectibles business. You want to like when people come with these collections, it feels like Christmas morning. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna keep? You know, like, and I'm just like, nope, I can't. I have to be a businessman here. I have to try to sell them. And so that's the one thing I miss is like getting a new figure. There's nothing like it, man. It's so fun. So
oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
well, do you allow yourself to maybe take one collectible once a month? Once a month, you allow yourself maybe like a $30 budget or $35 budget.
well, so it's funny.
And
So like
you're allowed to
like
get one.
the latest buy I did was the first time I kept one thing. The guy that I bought, like I said, I had a bunch of I'm gonna say Jason 1,000 times because he loved Jason, but he had the old Sideshow Collectables. So if you guys know Sideshow Collectables is one of the biggest like collectibles websites. They work with, you know, bunch of different studios, Prime One Studios. They'll sell $2,000 statues, all the way down to like $200 figures, right? They just have a bunch of different stuff. And in the early 2000s, they released a line of Jason's. I don't know. I don't know if they did everyone. He had every movie besides number 5 and number 8. So he had and they're big. I bought one of them. I can bring it out in a second, but they're like big 12-inch figures that come in big boxes. They're clothed though. They're not all plastic like the NECAs that you see now. And he had all of them except 5, and which is actually not Jason, right? Like if you're a Jason person, you know that was actually Frank. That wasn't Jason who's actually. So I don't even know if they made a number 5, but he didn't have 8. Don't know why, because that's a good looking Jason.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yep. And the movie sucks, but it's a good like Jason looks pretty cool. It's a pretty cool looking Jason. So I kept one of the Jasons that. Listen, I probably could sell it for, you know, maybe like, you know, $200 maybe somewhere around there. I could probably sell it for. But I've already made my money back from buying that plus a little bit. I already sold 3 of the Sideshow Jasons on eBay. I put them up and then a day later they're just gone because there's just the supply isn't out there. But I kept the one from Jason Goes to Hell, which is a weird choice because people are like, that's not a good Friday the 13th movie. And I agree, it's not a good Friday the 13th movie. But
it's better than, do you consider it better than 8?
8 sucks. Well, listen, here's the deal. I love Jason. I love Jason Goes to Hell. I love it. I grew up with it. I was like, I don't know, maybe it came out in like 99, 98, 99. So I'm like 10, 11 years old, somewhere around there. And I watched it at like sleepovers. We were just watching on repeat. And I didn't know the lore of Jason. I didn't know, like, I hadn't seen all the movies. I maybe saw 1 or 2 of them. Like, I just watched it as this cool movie where like this little slug demon is going into people and they turn into basically deadites from Evil Dead. So it's not a good Friday movie, but it's a good Evil Dead movie.
Yeah.
And the figure's so awesome that if you open the box, the Jason is in there, and in the corner they gave him a Necronomicon, which is the Book of the Dead from
Nice.
Evil Dead. So they actually gave, like, I was like, Sideshow's genius for like, and it's because it's in one scene in the movie. There's a pan over a table, and you just see the Book of the Dead just in one shot of the movie as a little reference, little tip of the cap to Evil Dead. So for them to put that in the put it with the figure, I remember opening up that box like a week ago, and I'm going, there's no way I could sell this. Like, if I sold it, it would just break my heart because it was one of my favorite movies. That's the only thing that I've kept out of all the stuff I bought. That's what I've kept. And if it's got to be something special like that, if I'm going to keep it, it's got to be something special for sure.
Yeah, I remember Adam Marcus came on here. We talked to him, and he was telling us a story about how he was able to get that from Sam Raimi into the movie. He asked Sam Raimi if he can get it into it.
Wow.
Yeah, Sam Raimi said sure. You know,
Of course he did. Sam Raimi's great, right? He's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, it's really cool. A lot of people overlook that connection to the Evil Dead universe. So
Yeah.
it's a very, very cool. I personally love that movie myself. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's fun.
I really do. That and Jason X are my 2 favorite movies.
I love Jason X.
I know the 4 original Friday the 13th. That's probably is that the number? Those are the top 4 though, as far as collectors are after, right? I mean, the other ones are great, but they always seem to go to the core 4, right?
Yeah, I would say. I'll let Horror Cat answer after Horror Cat Dad answer after me. I would say what I see is people love the look of Jason 7, the New Blood. Like that NECA flies off my shelf. Like people just love the look of him. And that's the first one that Kane Hodder is the guy. So he's the guy who played Jason the most. That was his first time playing Jason, was number 7. So 7 actually is a big figure for me that sells. But I think 4 and 6 are probably the best movies. Like number 4 is probably like the best Friday 13th movie. Like if you just want to, if someone's never seen Friday 13th, what is a Friday 13th movie? Watch 4. The best movie, all around movie to me is probably 6. Because it's like self-aware. It's laughing at itself. It's making fun of itself. It's like Scream before Scream. You know, it's like it's self-aware. And I think 4 and 6 are like the best. But I love the camp. I love Jason X. Like I have a Jason X figure. It's like one of my. I love it. It's one of my pride and joys. I'm just a sucker for like campy, funny Jason. I don't know why.
That is awesome. My 2 favorite Final Girls are in that one. Do movies like that? How did to me that seems to me like Jason Goes to Hell. It seems to me like that'd be a great movie. And let me ask you, Larry, as a collector, I mean, it's great to get a Jason movie, right? Or a Jason figure, but is it better for the companies to, okay, we made the main Jason character, but we need to get some other characters from that movie into the marketplace, like this. Let's at least try it. Let's go with KM14. Let's roll out 1,000 figures and see what kind of reaction we get to it.
Yeah.
Should more companies do that? Should they do at least runs?
Absolutely.
No, they should. I mean, the big thing, it's like notorious. There's like somewhere online, I think it's like on Twitter or something like that, where one of the guys from NECA, he's like, "Oh, human figures don't sell, so that's why they don't make them." But people keep asking for like like Prey. They keep asking for
The
Naru.
girl?
Yeah, they keep
Yeah.
asking for her. you know,
Yeah.
and they keep asking for like more Colonial Marines. They keep asking
Yep.
for, you know, they keep asking for that stuff, and NECA's just like,
Well, they're
we're gonna,
putting out. So it's funny enough. I literally 2 days ago just got an email after emailing them for like 6 months and emailing back and forth with them for 6 months. Now I'm officially a NECA licensed distributor. I got wholesale with them,
nice.
which is like a huge deal for
It
like a
is.
mom and pop like me, like a small shop to get NECA wholesale. So they sent me their whole inventory list. I'm about to place my first order with them. So I was super pumped about that. It was a process. They are not, it was a process. It took a long time. But they are putting out an Evil Dead 2-pack with Ash and I forgot her name. The first chick that turns into the demon in the first Evil Dead movie. So, and it's basically just two humans, you know. I mean, like her face is a little messed up, but it's basically just two humans. So Evil Dead, they've branched off and made like a bunch of different Ashes, which he's kind of just like he's the main character, but he is just a human. So they kind of just mess with the accessories, mess with his arm. They'll take his hand off in one of them and this and that. So I agree that I think they should make more human characters because I would buy them. Like I would definitely. But again, they got to think business wise are more like someone's more likely to come in and buy like a Freddy over a Nancy, and but me and him, we would buy every one of them probably, like because you probably have your nice little setup of this movie, then your setup of this movie and this movie, like you want to add to your. If you have this Nightmare on Elm Street figure, you want the other one. You want this Freddy. You want so if they made, I would love it. I just don't know. I think bigger companies like NECA are probably thinking, are we really going to waste our time to make the humans when only that we're already in the niche market? So then you need the niche of the niche to go and buy the human characters, So that's where I think their mind might be at. But what do I know? I mean, I don't know anything. So. But if I
Well,
was
to me,
running that,
I would
that's
think
probably
it'd be
what I would.
interesting for them, to maybe take maybe they're obviously got their brick and mortar stores they go to, but I think it'd be more interesting because I think it'd be more down in the pulse of the collector is to take maybe like 200 mom and pop shops, across the country like yourself, and then go ahead and flow you over four humans.
I would love it.
See how well they sell, see how long they stay in your inventory.
Well, I mean, to just kind of like, I mean, just look, I think it was last year or over the summer or something. I can't remember. They were doing like Vault releases this past year. All the
Yep.
Hateful Eight stuff sold out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
They're all humans,
Exactly.
They released a special, like some Vasquez from the Kenner line. I bought that, you know.
Yeah.
It's like that's a human, it's like, and it
Exactly.
sold out, it's like that's
Exactly.
what I don't understand. But I mean, with NECA, it's pretty clear they're right now their bread and butter is TMNT. I mean,
Yeah.
if you see all of the chats and all the comments are always like, when are we gonna get this? When are we gonna get this? They've been like, they teased like a wolf predator a long time ago, and there's like a
Yeah.
prototype photo of it. They never released it. People going
Nope.
nuts
Saw
about that.
that. Yep.
I mean, I would like to see stuff that's from like I would like a Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah. Of course. Amazing. How do you not make? And it's funny that you said the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You said TMNT, right? Because I
Yeah.
couldn't hear. Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny because I've bought in and I've sold, like I bought in collections. I bought in from my third party distributor. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle NECA stuff is like way harder to get rid of for me. I thought it would be so much easier, but for some reason, maybe it's just the people who are coming into my shop that they're seeing other stuff, like other horror stuff. So they're maybe gravitating towards that rather than gravitating towards my Ninja Turtle section. They do sell, but I thought that they would sell way faster. Like I got the Pizza Club, Leo and Mikey that were kind of hard to get at one point. And I think I still have one of each left. They're still, I thought that they would fly off the shelves because people on Reddit were like, oh, we can't find these, da, da, da. And so it's kind of like pick your poison with, I think it's kind of everybody goes online now. So I'm sure online it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's so funny you said that because I thought when I opened my store, I'm like, I got to have a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle section because that's going to be hot. And I have a section of them, but they don't seem to be moving as much as the horror stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't collect those. The only ones that I have collected were the obviously the Universal Monster ones, but I only got the first wave just because, like, I mean, I like the first wave. I think the second wave looks kind of like weird, like it doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they do like a Shredder, like a vampire sort of thing.
Yeah, that'd be
and
cool.
I'll get that to go with the Splinter Van Helsing, but that's just me. I mean,
Yeah, no. Listen, I have the right now sitting in my shop. I have the 4-pack of the black and white Universal Monster, the 4-pack.
mhm.
And then I think I have a 2-pack too. I have the 4-pack and the 2-pack, and then those are the only black and white Universal Monster Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones that I have. But I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah,
I think you're gonna see a resurgence of the Universal monsters, because I think they're actually, of course, you have the Dracula coming out this Christmas. Well,
Nosferatu's coming out. Yep, absolutely. Robert Eggers. Yep.
Then you had the remaking the Creature from the Black Lagoon. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that'll be all just massive resurgence for those.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh yeah, I get like people coming in that are 50, 60 years old, and they're like, oh man, it's from my childhood, this Dracula, like this zombie, this this mummy, Frankenstein. So that was genius on their part to make those figures, and then you got kids like me who grew up watching like the Monster Squad, right? And they don't make too many Monster Squad figures. I found a Wolfman at a convention one time, so I have like a Wolfman Monster Squad figure with like the amulet from Monster Squad. It's like I love it. It's like displayed right when you walk in my house. But I bought all those before I even opened the store. I bought all those Universal monsters because of Monster Squad, even though they weren't the figures, but it's the same exact characters. So I think those characters will stand the test of time. Like people will be talking about those in 200 years. They'll still be figures of Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula, all them. But I think what Neca is doing now, which is cool. I know there was a big controversy over they sent like the dioramas out to everyone. Yeah, see, he's laughing. So there was a big thing with the whole community got upset because they sent 2 pieces out to people, and they told them, well, hey, you got to return one of them. And then people were like, well, no, you sent me 2, like whatever. So it's been a whole thing. But I like the properties that they're getting. Like when you get Krampus, like that, to me, that shows that you have the right people working for you. I'm not saying it's a perfect company. There's probably a bunch more movies that they could get. They're not perfect. But when you're making like Krampus, which is just a one-off movie, just it's no sequels, no nothing, came out. It's a little Gremlins-y. It's a little, it's a Christmas horror movie, not too many. And when you dedicate, like, you're going to put a line out of Krampus and then the little creature monster present, things like that. That's what I like. And I like that that's a mainstream company doing that you don't have to go on like Etsy and find like someone who's making a handmade figure of something from Krampus. So that and I get it. I might be in the minority, but that's where I love NECA, is when they get those like the lower level IPs and they devote a line to them, or they'll put out at least like a figure or 2 from that IP. I really respect NECA for that.
Do you think people collect? Is it the NECA name, or is it what they're putting out that draws people to that line?
You go. What do you think?
I mean, for me, they suckered me in because of the Universal monsters. I mean, I got, and this is the one that got me collecting, was this Mondo Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, it's a Mondo one. Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah.
My wife got me that for Christmas, and then from there I was like, okay, I need the other ones, and I kept waiting and waiting, and Mondo just didn't do anything. And then now NECA, they started releasing them, and I was holding off, and I was just like, it's Universal Monsters, I gotta have it. So
I
that's
think
what got me.
Did you mean to say need, or do you say must have, Larry?
Well, I mean, because I must have. I didn't want him to be alone,
Yeah.
So,
but I think you nailed it though. I think that's what it is that we have no other choice. Like, there's no other company that is making the quality of figures for the price point that NECA does. You can go and buy like a great $250 figure of whatever, I don't know, name any figure, right? You can go do that. I have a bunch of them in my house. Like you can go do that, but they're just statue-esque, really. They're not articulated, and you're spending a lot of money on them, but you can go with NECA, spend $40 and get an amazing figure from your childhood or from a movie that you liked that just came out, whatever. So I think it's basically your only choice is NECA. They've kind of cornered the market when it comes to that stuff, and you'll buy a NECA product and not even know it's a NECA product. Like they have subsidiary, like Kid Robot puts out all these plushies, like that's NECA. Like I think it's just your only option is NECA if you really want to start collecting figures. NECA, it's just, there's no other competing company that is, Mezco was out there years ago. And I bought some collections that have some Mezco stuff, but nowadays I think it's not that their NECA stuff is bad. I just think it's the only option you have. That's it. You have to buy NECA or nothing else.
The other companies, like what Trick or Treat and Hollywood, are they still active?
So it's funny. I just got Trick or Treat wholesale at the convention. I met the head of wholesale was there. His daughter was selling paintings. So I go up to the daughter. I had no idea, and I'm like, "Oh, these are great paintings, like $2,000." It was like a giant painting, like amazing. I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool." Da da da. And she's like, "Oh, awesome. Where are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm right over there." She's like, "Oh, you're selling like some Trick or Treat stuff too." I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, my dad's the head of wholesale for Trick or Treat." I go, "Are you kidding me?" I go, I got these like not through Trick or Treat. I got these like through third parties or other collections. I'm like, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'll get you a wholesale right now. I'll introduce you." So she introduced me. I met him. We talked for 20 minutes. He emailed me like the next week, set me up with wholesale. And now I got wholesale. I just brought a couple things that I have in my shop. These are, and listen, maybe this is just because the time I was born, but Goosebumps is huge for me. And Trick or Treat makes these amazing magnets. They're like,
nice.
They're literally like the book magnets, collectible
cool.
magnets. They only make 4 right now. I'm holding them up like an idiot. There we go. And then I got obviously this is like one of my favorite horror movies, Trick or Treat. So I got the Sam Trick or Treat. This might be the best magnet ever.
Is Sam still really popular?
Oh
yeah, Sam is super popular.
I got that one in my office. I have the ornament of that on my tree right now.
Wait, which one? This one or Sam?
The Sam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So in my shop, I put up a Christmas tree and I got a bunch of the Trick or Treat ornaments, but I didn't want to take them off the tree to bring them here. But yeah, it's sick. They're the same thing, just shrunken down a little bit, basically. This is the bust, and then this magnet. This is the poster from Halloween. It's like a chunky. It's like thick. It's like a really. It's awesome. I think Aaron, one of my customers, he bought it. I was like, "Dude, you got to send me a photo of what it looks like out of the box because this thing's like heavy." And I was like, "It's legit." And it's one of the cool. Like this is the stuff that like you won't get from a NECA, right? This is the stuff that you need to go to like a lower level company like Trick or Treat that only has a certain amount of properties and they don't have it's just not a big company like NECA is. And I have the entire House of Thousand Corpses line from Trick or Treat, which I'm a big Rob Zombie House of Thousand Corpses fan. And they make like the 5-inch figures. So that was my first thing. I bought like 3 of each of those. And they killed at the convention because that's where you get the weirdos who like that movie and Devil's Rejects because they're kind of heavy movies. So you got to get the right. Like, I haven't moved them in my shop, but at the conventions, they just fly. Devil's Rejects house stuff just flies at the convention.
Was this the convention that you went to? Was this your first one?
No, I did one in September. That was CT Horror Fest. I'm in Connecticut, so that was CT Horror Fest. It's the biggest one in Connecticut. That was my first one in September. Loved it. Amazing, killed it. It was so fun. Met great people. And then this one was in White Plains, New York, which was actually closer. It was like 20 minutes from me. I'm in Stanford. So it was like 20 minutes from me. This one was Westchester Tattoo and Horror Con. So it was like a tattoo and horror convention at the same time. But so it was my second one. So I kind of knew, hey man, don't bring your whole shop. Like I brought my whole shop to the first convention. I was like an idiot. My boy's helping me. He's like, dude, Jesus Christ, how much you bringing to this convention? I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know if I'm going to sell that. I don't know what. I didn't want to bring little, or I didn't know what to do. So I brought so much. Better
to err on the side of caution and bring too much than unless it's a 2-day convention and you're like you said, you're only 20 minutes away. So when you could go back the next day and go get more stuff. Yeah.
You nailed it.
Wow, very
I was
excited to hear that for you, Mike. We talked about that the first time,
Yep.
about getting the conventions, and very excited for you.
It helps.
I saw the second one. I
Yeah.
saw and I saw the event that you did at your store with Art the Clown.
Yeah,
So
it
I
was
did
fun.
see your advertising. I saw your promotion for that.
Yeah,
So
we're doing a Christmas one. Did you? I don't know if you guys saw Terrifier 3. You guys see Terrifier 3 yet or no?
I haven't.
No? Okay.
yeah.
So Art is Santa in Terrifier 3, basically. So my boy's he's literally working on it now. Aaron, he's doing Art, but as Santa. Because people after our event, they were messaging us like, hey, are you gonna do a Santa, like a Christmas event with Art as Santa? And I'm like, well, now I'm gonna, because you asked me to. So now I'm definitely gonna do it. So I talked to Aaron and he got his whole outfit together and he's doing the beard and the hair. So we're gonna have I'm gonna do something, I don't know when, maybe like in mid-December, somewhere around there, and have like on a Saturday and just have like a nice little photo op for kids with Art. Kids love Art. I don't know. They just
man, adults love art. I love art.
yeah,
art.
but like if I was a kid, I mean, I was scared of Pennywise when I was a kid. Tim Curry's Pennywise,
Yeah.
he terrified me. So kids there's like 4-year-old kids that love him. A kid came to the store the next day and he's like, where's Art? His mom had to be like, oh, he's in the basement. He's sleeping. Like it was, the kids just love him. They just love Art. It's nuts.
No, I did tell you this. Larry already knows this, but this is the true story. So like, I love this story so much. So that's why I like telling it over and
Tell
over.
it. Let's hear it.
So I was sitting there on Threads, and David Howard Thornton was over there on Threads, and what people don't realize about him is that he is very outspoken. He is very outspoken. He will tell you what's on his mind.
Really?
Oh, he's awesome that way. But one of the things, like, I went up to him and I said, because in the first Terrifier, like there's a scene where he's down in this sewer area, and there's like 30 cats around, and you notice that immediately start thinking he's going to kill a cat, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't. So I asked him, I says, is Art the Clown a cat lover? He goes, absolutely. He is a cat lover, and he also likes dogs.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, he's Art the Clown loves cats. I mean, I can't, it's like you're not going to see a cat get killed in a Terrifier movie.
I remember you mentioned this last time I was on. Now I remember you telling the story. Now I remember this.
I just absolutely, Art just became my #1 horror icon.
Yeah.
Just on that, because I thought it was so freaking cool that he said, yeah, no, he loves cats.
That's awesome, man. That's funny.
Killing everybody else, but he's killing everybody else, but he loves cats. I mean, damn.
That's great. I've never met him. I've heard obviously I've had customers come in who've met him at conventions and stuff. They say he was really nice, but that's cool to hear that he's like outspoken and very loud, because obviously his character doesn't say a goddamn word. So that's good. That's good to hear.
So I mean, is that the hottest thing right now selling at the store? And how about you?
Terrifier.
How about
the hottest thing right now? Terrifier is the hottest thing, and NECA doesn't have it. NECA doesn't have Terrifier.
Wow, who has that
property?
Funko and who else? Can't remember who else. There's somebody else that does the bigger figures or the.
Yeah, I have the bigger figure. It's sitting behind me somewhere. I got it off. I don't know if you can see it on there. It's sitting on the thing right there. I got it off Trick or Treat Studios. Like this was like when the first first one came out. So I bought that one years ago. But yeah. Sideshow has not Sideshow. Trick or Treat has little 5-inch figures made by I forgot who makes them or whatever, but I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe they just made an exclusive deal, and because you would think NECA would be like
all over
clamming for Art. I mean, geez.
Yeah, you think they would be? Do you think they would be looking to buy out the deal? Like we can give you double what they're paying you now.
Exactly.
I guess it's a contract.
Just look at Funko. I mean, you can't. I see people online saying they can't find the special art ones anywhere. And then
Funkos.
The Funkos.
Yeah, so I was at the convention and I was selling stuff, and the only Funkos I brought was a Killer Clowns from Outer Space set that I bought from the Jason guy. So that was all the pops I had. And then some guy came up to me, really nice guy, starts talking to me, and he's like, "Hey, do you buy stuff?" I go, "Yeah, of course." He goes, "I live 5 minutes from here." I go, "Oh, okay, great. What's up?" He's like, "Do you want to buy Art the Clown pops?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, sure. Like if you, but I don't want to buy them if you don't want to get rid of them. Like I don't need to buy them from you. He's like, no, I have extras. I'm like, okay. He leaves, come back 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, 3 Art the Clown Pops. I buy them for like $10 a piece off them. I list them for $20 and they sell within the hour. They're gone within the hour. He comes back. He goes, you sell them? I go, yeah. He goes, see, that's what it's about, man. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so like, but that's how popular art is that the guy sold me them, and then within an hour, all 3 are gone. Gone.
Okay, I'm gonna use my one question I saved up for this interview. I'm gonna use my one question now,
Yeah.
and you already know what it is, Mike. Have you found Black Phillip yet?
Listen, he's eluded me since we've talked. I have not found him. I keep waiting for someone to come in with him, if that, because that'd be like a nice little present right on the lap. But I've not found Black
When you
Phillip
said
yet.
that, I'm thinking to myself, like all the Black Phillips or all the Art the Clowns are just flying off the shelf and going like, yeah, I've heard that happen once before.
Yep.
But unlike I think the last time, I think this time I think they'll replenish it because the
Yeah.
demand's there.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's cool. That is
Yeah.
really cool. I love the fact that, again, me and Larry were talking about this before he got here. We were just talking about this, about convention and convention prices. And like some convention, dealers. I mean, they go out there and they jack the price. They get
Oh,
they
yeah,
get it
no.
for wholesale for, let's say, $75. They go to the convention, they jack it to like the 150.
Yeah,
It's
for
like,
sure. I
yeah,
don't change prices. Everything's the same. And when I buy stuff from people, I'm upfront. I say, I'm going to offer you half of what it's worth on eBay. That's basically how I gauge what it is. Like I'm a business, I have to pay rent. So I will give you half. If you don't need the money, if you need the money and you want to do it, totally fine. Don't want to do it, no pressure. Like I am but I'm upfront with them. I'm not like, oh, this thing's only worth this, so I got it, whatever. I say I offer you 50, maybe 60% of what it is. And then I'm going to try to double my money because I'm not buying something for $1,000 and selling it for $3,000. I'm buying something for, every piece might $20. I'm selling it for 40. I might buy,
right.
$1,000 worth of stuff, but it's little stuff that I'm going to be sitting on for like a long time, a long
It's
time.
like, it's kind of like it's like what we were talking about before, Patrick, where it's like, remember what I told you as a collector. For me, it's like, I did the Elvira. I bought her for $10 over retail, right?
Yep.
So
Right.
I mean, he got the Funkos for $10 a piece, right? Usually they're like 12 to 15, depending on where you get them retail.
Yep.
He sold them for 20. I mean, see what I mean? That's
Exactly.
that's a fair, to me. That's a fair, at a
For sure.
convention.
For sure.
A lot of people would have jacked it up to like 50 or 60,
Oh,
because
yeah,
they know
easily.
the demand's there. They're going like, oh, because everybody wants it, so now I feel like I can get 60 from it because people will pay to do that.
Exactly.
And
And I already feel like I'm competing with, Target and the big box stores. So I'm like, I feel like I have customers who come in and they'll be like, oh, you know what? If Mike's like, Frankenstein NECA is $4 more than Target's Frankenstein NECA, I'm willing to pay him $4 more because he had to pay $12 more than Target had to pay. Right? Like my margin is way different than Target's margin. When I'm buying from a third party distributor, they just jack the prices up. So my margin that I'm making on NECAs is like really small. So it's tough. So if you go to Target, you might be able to get it for like $36. If you come to me, it might be 40, right? But I have to do that or else I'm going to be out of business in a week, So that's the only time where my prices will be like, there'll be a couple dollars higher than at Target because Target gets them. They might be getting them for, $12 a pop and selling them for, I mean, I don't know. Now I know what NECA charges, at least me, like what they sent me, their whole inventory list. So I see what they would charge like a mom and pop like me. So my margins will be better now. So my prices will be lower now. Not that they're high now, guys. The prices are not high. They're fine. Okay. There's no uproar about the prices. All right. So
I haven't heard a word about anything about any price wars or anything.
No, I was just kidding. No, everybody comes in, they're like fair, like no one ever has ever complained about the prices. I'm just explaining that it's hard to compete with like the Targets and the Walmarts because they're giant companies that probably get it for cheaper regardless. Even if, now that I have NECA, they still probably get it cheaper than I'm going to get it for, but
yeah, because they'll move, tens
but
of
they don't
thousands.
have stuff like the Jason stuff that I bought. Like this is cool. This is a custom Jason. So it's one of one. So the Jason collector, he has every single one of these from every single movie. He had a guy make them for him. And I only brought one because I wasn't going to bring the whole set, but so this guy literally makes these, and he had every single one with the graphics in the background of every movie. And it's like, I'm like, dude, how much do I charge for these? Because like I bought them from him. He's like, you don't even want to know what I paid for him. He's like, I paid 200, at least 200 each for him. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I'm like, I'm not selling these $200. Are you nuts? Like, this is crazy. So that's where I try to dig out a lane, is with the stuff that the big box stores don't have, the stuff that I'm buying from people, right? That's kind of the realm that at least some, like, some stuff, right? Obviously I have them, like, dude, this Chucky NECA, this is one of my favorite NECAs recently, the Christmas Chucky. It's so cool, dude. It's so fun. It's Chucky, and with like his Christmas hat, and he's all messed up and burnt, and it's just a great Chucky. And it's but then there's one more, sir. Then when you buy a collection, you find something like this, which is the NES Jason, which is hard to find. And this is the Jason from the video game. So he's blue. I know I'm hard doing it with the light. So he's blue from the video game back in the day. There was the video game. And this camera's backwards, guys. I'm so sorry. So
that's a con exclusive.
Yeah, exactly. This was Comic-Con exclusive.
I have the other one.
See, there you go. Boom. There you go.
Right.
So that's kind
of Mike has. I'm sorry. I have one question. And I'll get out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't hear it. Go.
Now, have you noticed that? Because to me, it's like, have you noticed the traffic to Target and Walmart, as far as their sales of their figures go? Are they being diminished because people are, because they now know that physical media is not being sold at those two chains? Like, it would be nothing to see people come in there to get these figurines from all these popular movies, but still go in there and not be able to buy the movie. Is that affecting?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's funny you ask, because in my town, I actually personally shut down the Target that was downtown, and the Walmart in the town over has now closed since I've been open, because I took away all their customers. So no, I'm kidding. That obviously did not happen, guys. I'm just joking. But no, you make a good point. You make a good point, but they're still holding on. Like Best Buy, no more physical media. But like Target still has, they still release steelbooks. They still release, Walmart does the same thing. They still release the movies that are, so they're, for some reason, Best Buy got out of the physical media game, but Walmart, I know, is still in the game, and Target, I believe, is, but I know Walmart, because people send me stuff. They'll say, hey, look what I just found at Walmart. It's this, whatever edition of Terrifier or whatever movie they're talking about. So they definitely are still pumping the physical media, which I'm honestly, I love, because I don't really sell physical media, because I wouldn't even know where to start to get DVDs at wholesale, like collections maybe I would buy, but that's it. Like, I don't know how, I wouldn't even know how to do it. So I just love the fact that physical media is still around, because,
I just think it's like, I would be nothing to see, when I go to Target, I'd be going over there to see what they got, and it would be nothing to see somebody walk over there, buy a collectible, and then buy a Blu-ray or DVD, but now it's like, they had a purpose, they were going there for that purpose, to get that movie and get that figurine.
Yep.
It wasn't necessarily an impulse buy. It was a targeted buy.
Yes.
It was something they wanted. And now they're no longer selling physical media. I'm wondering how many of those people are going like, well, they don't sell physical media. I don't want to have to drive all the way downtown.
Yep.
To look for that. Why don't I just stop by Mike's and pick up the figure that I'm looking for at his store?
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And I think a lot of people because a lot of collectors of NECA especially do go to Target, because they have their little collector's corner. But I think people kind of are fed up at the way that people just like throw stuff around. Like it's just like a mishmash of stuff, and the prices are, it's not organized. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then you'll understand. In Target, there's a little collector's corner and they'll have the NECAs up and stuff. But half the time, like before I opened my shop, when I would go there like to buy something for myself personally or a gift or something, like there's boxes backwards, there's things on the floor, nothing's in order. It was like no one cared about it because obviously the employees there aren't like, you know, really focusing on making this thing look beautiful. So it's hard because collectors want things to look beautiful. They want to see what am I buying right here? So like in my shop, I have a glass case and I have like all these NECA figures that are my personal NECA figures that I took from my house, put them in there, displayed them like Michael, like going up against Jason or whatever. And they're all on the wall in boxes. And it says like available in store. So people can actually like see if they don't know what NECA is, they don't know anything about figures, they know nothing. They don't even know that figures are inside the box. Like people are like, oh, like, can I have this one out of the glass case? I'm like, oh no, they're in the boxes. And they're like, wait, there's figures in all these boxes. And I'm like, yeah, the whole, like, these are all figures. So I think it's fun introducing people to something, and the way you display it to them, especially collectors, is important. Like you need to have it nice and neat and presentable, you know? So, and Target definitely, I don't know about Walmart, but Target is.
No, same with Walmart. I mean, I get, and
Is
that's the other thing.
Is that what you look for too, Larry? When you go out there, like let's say you're shopping for a Christmas present for your wife, and she wants Art the Clown, so you go out there and look for it. Okay, your wife wants Snickers, so you go out there and look for. Oh, man, we should turn him on to that. He should get figurines of that. Oh my God, I'd be busted. But let's just say that we're looking. Your wife wants a Art the Clown figure, and you have to go out and shop for it. How important is it when you do, is atmosphere when it comes down to shopping? Is it just about getting the damn thing and getting it home, or do you want the experience? Because to me, I would think I would have wanted to have a pleasant experience. Like I wouldn't want to go in there to a Target. And I've seen this before. Mike's absolutely right, where it looks like it looks like a bomb hit.
Yep.
The shit's everywhere. It's all they're understaffed. A lot of people are trying to come in, they're bum rushing, they're trying to grab more than what they're, there was only a limit of 3 or 4 per customer, but they're trying to walk out for 20. And at least the shelves all looking like shit. How important is it as a collector, not a casual, but a collector? How important is it for the shopping experience to have a clean shelf and a clean store?
I mean, it's very so what I was going to say was for me, yeah, I love the hunt, right? Most collectors like, oh, what am I going to find? But for me, it's also like, okay, well, I go to Target. There's been times where I find a NECA figure somewhere in some random aisle, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, I want to go. I mean, I rather do. And I was going to mention this earlier when talking about buy from big box or from like a mom and pop. My thing is now. There's some people that I buy from that's just a mom and pop store online, and I pre-order everything from them just because I don't want to pre-order from NECA because I've had so many bad experiences. So I'll message them whenever I see an announcement. I'm like, hey guys, are y'all gonna have this? And then that's why I got the Alien Romulus stuff through them instead of NECA. That's why I got the Vincent Price through them instead of NECA directly. It's just because they're cool. I rather give them my business. I rather give a small mom and pop business my business. Only reason being is because I've had my bad experiences with NECA. Their prices are compared to other people's is ridiculous for the shipping. So I mean, but yeah, it's one of those things where I rather go to a store that's gonna have have everything displayed well and taken care of. That's why when I go to a convention, people have their stuff displayed. And it's oh, this is cool. And it's there's a method to their madness.
Yeah,
I like to say where it's okay, it's a flow, and that's me. That as a collector, that's, so yeah,
Absolutely.
it is important to me, in my opinion, that the way it's presented, the way it looks and everything like that.
Yeah. I appreciate that you saying that, even online, even if you're just going online to look for stuff and you buy it from a smaller website. And the problem is people don't trust websites they don't know. So that's an issue when it comes to like, you're like, oh, I'm ordering from like, Mike's Monsters Toys. What is this? Who is this? Is this even a real website? Like what? Like it's tough if you don't. And because I've experienced this, like where I'm like, is this a legit website? I couldn't find this figure anywhere else. And now they're saying they have it here for like, this price. And I'm like, sketchy a little bit. I'm just going to go with Amazon. I'll pay the extra $5, so people who do shop online and do buy from smaller websites and people like businesses like mine, it's infinitely appreciated because it's so much easier just to do it the other way and just, cave and just be like, you know what, I'm just going to make it easier. If it's on Amazon, I'll get it from them. If it's with Neca, I'll just do it through them. So yeah, I think I speak for all of us mom and pops when I say thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, Neca's already shown me that they really don't care.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of one of those things where like the people that I normally get all my pre-orders from, it's like, if I see an announcement, I'll message them immediately. I'm like, and they're the type of people I can message them on Instagram or I can message them on Facebook,
and they're gonna respond.
They're gonna respond, and
yep.
they're and heck, I've even gone to conventions and they're like, hey, is anybody going to this convention? They send me stuff to get signed for them, and then they hooked me up with stuff.
Yep.
And it's sort of like, it's one of those things where like, okay, like I'm perfectly fine giving, even if I have to give pay a little bit more, but at least, hey, it's like they're cool people. I mean, it's the experience.
So people give you stuff to sign or look for, and you go looking for them or try to get it signed.
Mm-hmm.
Really? You never came up to me once saying, "Hey, you still looking for Black Phillip?"
Ever since we had that conversation, I always look. Believe me.
You're like one of my regulars, bro. You'd be what I'm telling you. If you lived in my town, like what you just said is probably what like a bunch of my regulars say, and to hear it from someone, it's just so refreshing and appreciated by me that like. Because it's hard to explain because I do get people who come in every week and I'm like, damn, man, I love these people. Like, and I give them, I'll try to give them any discounts, free stuff, whatever. Like whatever I can do for them, I'm going to do for them. But the reasoning in it and what you just explained is that's a good. You're a good person. Basically, I'm saying you are Jesus Christ. I'm saying you are the best is what I'm saying. You are awesome and never change, man. Never change.
Yeah, Larry, never change. Yeah, I think what I wanted to talk a little bit about. There's one collectible I was wondering if you're going to venture into. Like I've seen tons of people with these. A couple of our guys are just Casey and Ben from Cadaver Club. They're huge into the Godzilla figures.
Yes,
those are some of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
So
I mean,
fun.
they are they are so wicked cool. Now, is that something that you're going to be looking to expand into maybe in 2025?
It's so funny you literally said that because I had 2 Godzilla figures in my shop for like that's it because they're so hard to find now. Like 2-3 years ago, you could walk through Target, you'll see 10 Godzilla NECAs, like just 10 of them sitting there. And I'm not a Godzilla person, so I never bought them. I just didn't like. He's not my guy. But they would just be sitting there, at just all over the place. All of a sudden now, poof, they're gone. You can't. Godzilla NECAs, Godzilla figures are so coveted right now, and it's so funny you said that because what's tomorrow? Oh no, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So Friday, the Jason guy who got rid of all this Jason stuff, he has a giant box of Godzilla stuff that he's bringing into my shop. And I am like so excited because this girl came in today and she's like, do you have any Godzilla stuff? And I'm like, come back on Black Friday. I had like a Godzilla, like Mad Libs, like little book. And she's like, oh, I'll get it for my kids. So I sold her that. But like, I'm like, no, I'm going to have a bunch on Friday. And I explained to her the whole situation because I've never seen a property flip that fast. I'm not lying. When I say 3 years ago, I would go to Target, no horror NECAs. And it was just like, you couldn't find Pennywise because like it was popular. Like it was just Godzilla, King Kong, and it just filled the shelves with it. And now it's the complete opposite. Like go on Amazon right now and type in like Godzilla NECA and see what they're charging for a Godzilla NECA on Amazon.
Yeah, when I first started collecting, I kicked myself because I'm a Godzilla fan. but
There you go.
I'm kicking myself for not picking up the King of the Monsters NECA
I
because
just
I saw it at the beginning.
Yeah, I just sold one of the King of the Monsters NECA. I think it was King of the Monsters. Yeah, it was the one where he's shooting blue out of his mouth. It comes with the long blue thing.
Mhm.
Right.
That was the last one I had. I just sold it to one of my regulars. Shout out Sebastian. He's a great guy. That was my last Godzilla piece, man, and it was sitting there for like 2 months. It's been, or however long it's been sitting there. But it's so funny you mentioned Godzilla because I don't know if it's Godzilla -1, if when that came out, that got people kind of revved up again, or if it's just cyclical and just for some reason, you know, the Godzilla movies kind of made a little bit of a comeback in the past decade. So that's why they got more popular. But dude, 4 years ago, man, I would have bought every Godzilla I saw because they are gold now. They are legit gold.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah.
So what is the hottest thing right now? What's the number one item? And if you brought anything with you, that'd be awesome. But what's the number one item are you getting asked for besides Art the Clown? I mean, what
Yeah.
other things are going hot in the store?
Art's hot. Art's really definitely number one is Art. People coming in for Art. The problem with my store is I have such a like diverse collection of stuff that it's hard to track like what is popular because like I have so much different horror stuff. I got like every horror character you can imagine. I have so it's your main guys. Like it's like Jason sells like crazy. Just Jason sells. I don't know why Jason sells. People love Jason Voorhees. Kids love Jason Voorhees. They haven't seen any of the movies. The parents are like, I don't know where he gets this from. They're like YouTube. I'm like, yeah, probably this kid's sitting on YouTube all day watching like Jason kills. They've never seen any of the movies, but they love Jason. They just love him. So Jason moves in my store like crazy. So yeah, I brought in like I tried to bring in a couple of cool pieces. The Chucky is always popular. People love Chucky, and I have the NECA Bride of Chucky, the big Chucky that hasn't even come out yet. It's been on pre-order for like 2 years. I got it through my distributor, luckily. So I have him like where he's all stitched in the face and stuff like that. So he's in my shop. And then I have the regular Trick or Treat Studios one from a couple years ago where he's just like before he's evil. So and everybody like is like, how much? Chucky, the Chucky stuff moves. Chucky is very big. And yeah, the only other thing that I really brought was this guy, which was the Sideshow. This was I bought 10 of them off the guy, the whole Sideshow line. And I brought the Freddy vs. Jason one, which is like super hard to find.
Oh, nice.
So they're these big figures. I don't know if you can see it in here, right there. They come with like a stand. It comes with, you know, fire machete. It's just, and these are 20 years old by now, you know, and this is what, you know, a Sideshow used to be. And they just don't make these anymore. So I kind of struck gold with him when he sold that. So Jason is really he's just a popular character in my shop. Freddy is as well. And then the 3D prints that I sell are always moving, like the silhouette ones that I think you had him on the show, Doug. He's the guy who makes my 3D prints.
Right. How are they selling for you?
They sell good. Yeah, they sell good. The convention, I kill it. The Goosebumps one, that's not from Doug. That's from my boy. The Goosebumps one sell too. I didn't bring it, but you can go on my website if you guys want to check it out, or Instagram. You see a photo if you just want to see it. I
was wondering how that went for you. You know, because
Yeah.
I thought it was hella cool that we were able to facilitate that. That was really nice.
Oh yeah. So like now what's been, I'm just trying to reach down. Sorry if you can hear me. So like the silhouettes. So I gave Doug the idea. I'm like, hey man, can you let me put it in front of my face?
Yeah.
So you can see it. So this is the Halloween one. And it's just, so he saw me that I had the logos from the thing. And he's like, oh, logos, great idea. So I said, hey man, can we do like a silhouette, you know, at all? Because I think that would kind of make them pop. So I got like a Nightmare on Elm Street one, a Texas Chainsaw one, a Child's Play one, a couple other ones, Friday, you know, they kind of make them pop a little bit. So these are something that I kind of pride myself in having in my shop, because like you're not getting this in any other shop.
Dude, I loved it. I loved it when I ran across him.
Yeah.
And this is before I knew you guys were together. They were so close to you. I just said, "Oh man, I gotta talk to him."
We actually got divorced, so we're not together anymore. But
Oh, he's not making them for you
I'm
anymore.
just no, I was just joking. I was just making
Oh,
a
okay. I
bad
was gonna
joke.
say,
Just
uh,
making a bad joke.
yeah.
Sorry. No,
It
I
was
saw him
cool.
today. He came by today to drop something off for one of my regulars. I'm like the middleman here. I'm not even making any money. It's all right.
That, I mean, it's so
Sorry.
cool that you're that worked out.
Yeah,
I
for
guess
sure.
there's a lot of networking. I mean, like, when's your next convention? When are you going to the?
So it's so funny. I did the CT Horror Fest in Hartford. So that was like an hour and 20 minutes from Stanford. It's up the line in Connecticut. So I go to the convention. I'm unloading. My boy's helping me where it's like I brought so much. So it took so long. So we're unloading. We're in the loading dock and we're back there. And all of a sudden some guy comes up to me and he goes, puts his hand out. He goes, "You Mike?" I go, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "Mike's Monsters?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Great to meet you. My name's Rob." I didn't notice at the time he's the creator of CT Horror Fest. He's like the head guy. And he's like, "Oh, I'm Rob. Nice to meet you." "Hey, nice to meet you." And he goes, "So we're announcing it tomorrow." He goes, "Don't say anything." He goes, "But I wanted you to be the first one to know." And I'm like, what the hell is this guy going to tell me? Like, what? It's my first convention. I just opened my shop like 3-4 months prior to that. I'm like, who am I for him to be talking to me? So he goes, "We're doing a second convention. Usually these big conventions will do 2 a year. They'll do one in the spring, one in Halloween time because they're horror conventions, right?" So
Right.
CT Horror Fest was usually only doing it in the fall time. So he goes, "Next 2025, we're doing a second one." I go, "Oh, awesome. Great." He's like, "In May." I go, "Fantastic. Would love to get a booth. I'm very excited about it." He goes, "In Stanford." And I go, "Oh, that's why you're
Oh,
telling me, because that's where my store is in Stanford. That's where." And I'm like, "Oh, wait, you're doing it in Stanford?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "We saw you at a store there." And we were like, "Oh, wow. Actually, like Stanford, it's close to New York because Stanford's like Stanford and Greenwich, like the two cities that are closest to Manhattan, in Connecticut." So he's like, "Yeah, we saw you at a store in Stanford." And we were like, "Oh, wait, Stanford might be a good place to have a convention." And I'm like, "Oh, well, great. Glad I could help. Oh, can I get a booth?" He's like, "Yeah, no, that's why I'm telling you now." I'm like, "Oh, great. Awesome." So they're actually doing one in my hometown in May. That's my next convention. And it's just funny how that whole situation came about. I'm not saying they did it because I have a shop here. It's not what I'm saying. It's definitely what I'm
well,
implying.
we will make
I'm
sure right
implying it,
now.
but I'm not saying it.
I had already told early before you got here. I had mentioned, like, I always want to do interviews with you, and I had hoped to get Christy on the show. I'm not
Oh
really
yeah,
sure
Nightmare
what's going.
Toys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's going. I know the store is open and going well. I'm
Good.
just not really sure about her involvement in it right now. I mean, I reached out a
Oh,
couple
did
of
she like take a
times.
step back a little bit?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'm thinking that
Okay,
maybe she is, because I mean, most of their advertisements, they're still pushing the store, still advertising
for
it,
sure, for
but
sure.
she's not the center of it any right now.
Okay,
So I'm not really sure what's going on. But I always wanted to have her, and like I told you last time when we talked, I want to have you on twice a year. I want to have you on now, and then I want you to have on in the springtime before convention kicks off. And
absolutely.
so as soon as you tell me the date
Yeah.
of the convention,
Yep.
we'll get you on a couple of weeks before that,
Yep.
so you can help hype up the store and hype up your
Absolutely.
table.
I
Yeah, we'll
appreciate
do.
that. Yeah, I think I believe it's early May if I'm not mistaken. I think it's early May, but yeah, again, like it's months and months away. So we'll obviously talk before then. So I'll definitely let you know.
We'll drag Larry along with us.
Yeah, dude. Where are you? Where are you guys again? I forget. So where are you? Oh, wait, which
I'm
way?
in Michigan.
Yeah. You're in Michigan. Where are you, Larry?
I'm in Texas.
Look at this, dude. We're covering like the continental United States here. This is crazy. We got bing, bang, boom. This is nuts. We're all over the
Uh,
place.
and I also noticed too. Let's talk a little bit about this, because I want to get this in before our time runs
Yeah.
out. But you have right now, you have a Christmas sale going on at Mike's Monsters. Tell us a little bit about the discount. How do people get that discount?
I'm slashing prices, dude. Guys, I'm slashing prices. No, I'm doing a Black Friday sale this whole weekend. 20% off everything. I gotta put it on the website. I gotta see how I do that. But again, I just bought these giant collection of stuff, and all that stuff I haven't had time to put on the website yet because I kind of just got it. So that stuff's not on the website, but whatever is on the website, you guys can obviously order from it. But it is just a 20% off sale of every single thing in the store. Like whatever, if it's $500, if it's $20, whatever, it's all 20% off. It's my first Black Friday. I didn't know what to do. I was like, all right, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'll do a sale. You know, what do I know? So we'll try it. We're doing it Friday and Saturday, 20% off. So if you're in the area, if you're in the New York, Connecticut area, definitely come down to the shop Friday or Saturday. I'll be there. There's no employees. You're going to have to deal with me. I will be there. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, 20% off. I hope
I can't wait to see the picture of Mike behind that register and a line going out the door. And
yeah, dude,
they're all clamoring for the NECA.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that would be a cool.
NECAs are, and the like I know we're rounding out, but the one thing I love that since we've talked, what's happened, obviously it's been great. The store's grown. Like my business is like, I'm doing good. It's great. But introducing people to collecting has been like the best thing about it, is that like people have started collecting by just coming into my store. Like they didn't know what NECA was. They didn't know like, and again, I don't have a lot of Funko Pops. I'm not a Funko Pop shop. That's just not what I am. I have a few here and there. So I'm sure people knew what Funko Pops were, but they didn't know about NECA. They didn't know about, collecting. And now they're like, oh, wait, I bought like this figure. Now I got to get that figure. Wait, now I bought this. Now I have 2 Jason figures. I got to get a Friday 13th 3D print. Now I got to get this. I got to get that. So that's like the rewarding part of doing it, is getting people into collecting that weren't prior, So, and then the kids, it's all for the kids, guys. It's all for the kids.
Yeah, they're the next generation of horror film fans. I mean, you're right. You want to get them collecting early and get them involved in it. I think it's really cool. I think that's it's a great thing to do. It's a great business to be in right now. I think a lot of people are. I actually think your business is really going to blow up in the next 3 or 4 years. People are going to want comfort and really quick, because the way the world is right now, they want comforting things. They want to be surrounded by things they enjoy, things they worked hard for. And I just see more of a boom than a bust going forward.
Yeah, I like an article came out that was people like, they know I own a toys and collectible shop, so they were sending me this article, and it was like adults have surpassed children in toy buying in the past like 2 years or 3 years or whatever it was. So like we are now at a point where adults are buying more toys and figures or whatever than kids are, which, hey baby, I love it. I'm for the kids and the adult. You're all welcome in my shop, guys. Everybody's welcome. Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, there's already something I'm eyeballing on your site. So.
Oh yeah, is it? Well, listen, man. Here, so if I can't get the sale up, DM me on Instagram, and then I'll just get you 20%. You know what I'm saying? Like if I can't get the 20% off up on the site, I'm gonna try to do it tomorrow when I'm like, my family's house. I'm gonna try to do it. But if I can't get it through on the website through Square, DM me. I'll get you the 20% off. We'll just do like a side deal. You know what I'm saying?
Cool, man. Cool. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, for sure.
So what are your do you have regular Christmas hours? I mean, what are you going to be open for December? You have a schedule yet for the people want to come down to the shop? When's are you going to be closed any days? Are you going to be open 7 days a week?
Yeah, no, definitely not 7 days a week. I would say just follow me on Instagram. That's probably the best bet. My hours are always listed on there, and if I'm ever closing for some reason, like if I have an emergency or something to do, whatever it is, I'm always posting on Instagram. Like you're always going to know if you follow my Instagram. But yeah, my normal hours are all up on there. Closed Mondays. That's the day that's the day that I'm closed. And some Sundays, it depends. And every other day I'm open, but that's kind of where I got it. Since I'm a one-man operation, I don't want to hire an employee. I just don't want to have that payroll. It's a whole thing once you hire an employee, right? So right. I just don't want to have to do that yet. It's been going good with just me on my own. So I feel like it, until I need to, and I feel bad because people are coming in and saying, hey, can I have a job? And I'm like, I want to give you a job, but I can't right now. I can't just, I got such low overhead right now that it just, I don't want to get any deep underwater than Bruce from Jaws,
Totally understand that.
So follow me on Instagram, guys. It's Mike's Monsters CT. Mike's Monsters CT on Instagram. All my schedules, everything's up there. All the links, all the
we have all your links listed down below
Perfect.
in the description box. You can go down there and check out all Mike's socials. You can check out Larry's. Larry's has his YouTube channel link down there. We also have a link to our first interview with Mike, where you can hear his backstory.
Yeah, don't watch that one. Don't worry about that, guys. We covered everything. Don't worry about that one.
Well, they gotta you gotta introduce people to you. It's like introducing collectors. You gotta introduce the man behind the mask. So by all means, for them to, because people might find you through that interview. And that's really what it's all about, right? When people type in Mike's Monsters, you want to get you want to see as many hits as you could possibly get in the search engine.
Can I ask one question to Larry, the resident collector up there? There we go. What is like your coup de grace? What's your piece, like your favorite piece that you own in your collection?
Man, that's
I'm not saying you have to show it to me. I just like what is it? What do you have one piece that you're like, if the house is burning down and I can only grab one collectible out of this place, what are you grabbing?
Man. I probably
tough question. I know
he probably die on the hill.
I just grab it all and it's like, okay, I'm going with it.
Yeah.
No, man. If it was a figure, it'd be between a couple things. It'd be that Mondo creature from the Black Lagoon, just because of the sentimental attachment. Or it would be my Castlevania NECAs.
Oh, the Castlevania NECAs. How old are those? Are those older?
Yeah, those are from I'd have to go back and look, but it's probably mid to early 2000s.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome.
Now,
okay.
Those are ridiculously expensive and hard to find.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know if I've came across those. I got to look those up. I got to look those up. Wow.
Yeah, so kind of going back to your story, when I back in my 20s, I was kind of I'm a huge Castlevania fan. So when I didn't even know there were NECAs back then. I just saw the figures and they were from Symphony of the Night, and I was like, oh man, I want this, but I didn't have enough money, and back then it was $20. So every other week I was buying one, and I only have two because it was just I didn't have, I didn't make money, so it was really hard for me to pick them up. And now they sell for easily over $100. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You can't find them anywhere, and when I do find them at conventions or something, easily 110.
They're so
that's
expensive,
the low. Yeah. So if anything, it would probably be those. If we're talking figures, I have other stuff that I'd be I definitely.
Of course, no, I just didn't. I mean, you're a collector. I figured I'd ask because I think you asked me that. You asked me that when I was on the show. You said what's your favorite piece that you have in your collection? So I said, let me ask Larry that. So that's why
I had a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
What is your absolute grail? Something that you don't have that you really, really want. What is your grail, your holy grail of what you want to get?
Oh my God, man, that is
Black Phillip.
Yeah,
yeah,
Black
your Black Phillip. Yeah. Oh man, that is tough, dude. I don't know. I don't know if it's something specific that I've seen and I really want. I think it might be more properties that I would want, where there's no figures of them, right? Leprechaun. There's no Leprechaun. I'm a huge Leprechaun fan, the movie from the 90s. So that's kind of more where I'm at. But I have been eyeing something recently. It's $450 and it's so cool. And I don't know. I've never seen it at a convention because I would have bought it at a convention. I just never seen it anywhere. It's the Spencer's, for some reason. Spencer's limited edition Hellraiser layer set. So it has the original 4 Cenobites in their layer with the chains coming down and stuff like that. And the cheapest one I could find on eBay is $450. And I want it so bad, but I know if I get it, I'll open it because I have to open it and display it really nice, So that's something that I've seen recently that's caught my eye. And then also the NECA Reagan in the bed so it's Reagan in the bed. Dude, that one is so expensive. I think it's even more expensive. It might be even more. Yeah, it's probably like the same price, or someone out of the box was selling it for like $400 out of the box. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. So those
man.
two are ones that I would love to have, but is it worth the money? Do you want to waste it? So
Yeah, that's
I did-
basically how. That's
Go ahead,
basically like
Larry.
me. I mean, most of the times I try to find the best deal, the best, those Castlevania ones. It's like the two original ones that I bought. I found another one, and I ended up. It was a store that was in another town, and I was able to do like a layaway. So
oh, beautiful. Oh,
I
that's
paid
awesome.
it. I paid it down, and I got one of them. I'm still missing like 2 figures from the whole line, but yeah, man, I see them
Wow.
online, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah, yeah,
spend
yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
There's no
You know
way,
what I would
man.
love? You're speaking of video games. I don't know if you're a Doom guy, but they made not NECA, but whatever company
Mondo.
made like a Doom figure, and I have it, and they made a what the mortar or whatever the guy did with the axes from the newer Dooms. If they made the demons from Doom, like if NECA got the rights
Oh,
for the demon, if anybody you guys watching have played the new Doom video game, either Eternal or the original one, like the demons in that game are amazing, and they would make the sickest figures. Like just that line would be insane. It would
yeah.
be insane.
No,
Why is
yeah,
it
I
so hard?
know.
Why is it so hard for? I'm sorry, Larry. Why is it so hard for companies like NECA? Why does it take like years for they'll announce a figure, but then it takes years for it to actually hit the market? Is it about why do you think that is? Is it about the getting the face right?
Yeah, I
Is it
think it's design, manufacturing, and like China, everything's made in China, right? So it's design, manufacturing, and then yeah, I mean, they are sometimes the worst when it comes to pre-orders and stuff. People complain a lot about that, where like they're like, I pre-ordered this thing 2 years ago and it hasn't come out yet. Like the Chucky that they said
Yep.
they pre-ordered, like people have like, I pre-ordered that a year ago and nothing. It just keeps getting pushed back. And I got one sitting in my shop. So if anybody wants that Chucky, guys, it's sitting there for $600, 600 beans. It's just, how many coffees is that? 300, 200 coffees, maybe? I don't know. It's not,
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, that's really not that bad compared to what NECA was selling it for.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And where you can't get it right now, it's like I'm not like I'm charging you fucking $1,000 or something
Yeah.
like that, right? It's actually, since you can't get it, I feel like that was like that's what I had it listed for at the convention. Basically, I had it listed for $600 at the convention. Yeah, so it's there. If you guys want it, it's in my shop. Come see me. We'll work out a deal.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
We have hit our mark. I want to thank Mike and our special co-host Larry, the Horror Cat Dad, and for coming out and we're talking collectibles. If you missed any of the show, highly recommend going back and watching the replay. This is like another education type of show, or if you're into collectibles, if you're a collector yourself, or you're looking to get into collecting. These are some of the tips and ideas that are out there for you guys to pick up on. Christmas is here. If you're looking for a hard to get gift for a collector, highly recommend visiting Mike's shop. He is now national. He will ship anywhere within the continental United States. So you can go to his website. We have that down below and check out his inventory. He will get back to you if you have any questions. You could actually go on the Instagram page and send him a private message, and he will get back to you as soon as he can. And this is an absolute blast. I really enjoyed this one, and we'll be hooking up again. Like I said, we'll be doing this again come toward the April or May. I like to get I like to get the small businesses out there. I'd like to get Mike's store out there twice, so you guys can get out there and take a look at what he's got going on. Always a joy. Always a joy
fun.
to have both you guys on here.
So
All right, we will be gone till next Tuesday. We are not here tomorrow, and we will not be returning until December 3rd.
they're gone till December.
Yeah, I'm gone from
till
now until December 3rd. And we will be talking to Christopher Pelton will be here with us from the Horror Connection podcast. He will be here on the 3rd. On the 4th, we have Kit Wilson will be here. On the 5th, we will have Kayla Mar will be here. We had to reschedule her, so she'll be here on the Thursday, December 5th. And then on the 6th, we had another reschedule. We'll be talking with actress Chase Cortez DeVargas. I said that name right too. That's right.
Look at that. You
I got
nailed
the
it.
name right. That's
I gotta
right.
say, you're crushing it with this show, man. I see you. I see your posts all the time. I see the guests you're having on. So happy for you, man. I love you. You're such a nice guy. You're easy to talk to. You're very affable. You're friendly. And I love that you got all your guests and that you're doing your thing. I just love seeing it. And I always love coming on and appreciate it immensely.
Oh, thank you for being a very, very cool guest, and I'm very proud to know you and call you a friend.
Same.
I think your story is very impressive, and I'm really proud to know you. And
Thanks,
Larry,
man.
of course, you and me, the Snicker Bros. Good news before I let you guys go that is soon to be. We don't have an exact date yet, but we can tell you that In the House will be coming back. In the House with Larry and Don Zombie. Yeah.
I don't know what that
they
is.
will be-
I'm lost, but I love it. I love that it's coming back. I love
That's
it.
right.
I'm so excited for it.
So they'll be coming back. We'll look for dates coming up soon, and they'll be rocking and rolling with fun times. So that'll probably be back on Fridays at 8 o'clock. Yeah, that's it for us. Oh, hey, Jason, how are you? Fashionably late. Yeah, it's just in time for the replay.
Just
Thank
in
you.
time for
Thank
the
you. I
replay.
appreciate all your support in the chat. Thank you so much. You guys stay right there for a second. And to the chat, we're gonna say good night. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a turkey leg for me and the cheetah, and we will see you. We'll see you on in the next Tuesday. Peace.
I hope it ended before I came back.